Begin.
Good morning, Sarge. Good morning, Sergeant First Class Ziegler. This morning we'll be getting into an unclassified briefing on leader development. I will be your instructor, Specialist Bryant. Before we get into these slides, I will be letting you know that I will be having a little Quizlet during my slideshow, and I will be interacting with you guys to make sure we have an understanding. On our agenda, we have our introduction, of course. We have our definition of leader development. We have a few pillars that make up leader development, the different types. And we have our attributes and competencies that make sense. And then we get into our conclusion. Introduction. What is a leader? You cannot have leader without leader development. So, sergeants, do you know what a leader is?
A leader is someone that motivates their people. They don't boss them around. They lead by example.
Yes, they do. And with that being said, a leader is more than just higher rankings, E5 and above, or officers. A leader can also be a specialist, trying to take control of the mission and everyday duties while the NCO isn't there. Leader development, is it a rule, skill, or a natural occurrence? Do we have any idea, Sergeant?
To me personally, it's natural, but it can also be a learned skill.
Roger. It can be, but it is also natural. It's better to be natural because you actually care about your soldiers and you can help them on and off of duty instead of going by the rule and everything that you learned as a skill. Do you have what it takes to be a leader, Sergeant?
I personally feel that I do.
You do? All right. Do you know by chance how you will act as a leader? How you go about being a leader?
As a leader, you'd motivate your people, and you set them on the right path for their career.
All right. Goals of leader or leader development. If you're asking me, a goal would be to be someone that's remembered, someone that always fought for their soldiers and helped their soldiers instead of just giving orders and making them do everything. And to also develop as in forming myself as well as my soldiers to get the job done and to move on to bigger and better things. Definition of leader development is the deliberate, continuous, and progressive process that forms soldiers and DoD personnel. Being that we are on Fort Benning and we work with civilians, I feel like they're part of our team, so that's kind of big in our definition. So soldiers, form soldiers and DoD personnel into competent, committed, professional leaders of character would be the definition of leader development. All right, here are a few pillars of leader development. You have the operational domain, institutional domain, and our self-development domain. In our self-development domain, it will be coming from experience as a leader. Institutional domain will be coming from education, bettering yourself and knowing more. Operational domain will be training as in expertise in your job from day to day. Now we're going to get into our quiz to see if you understand this map. All right, here in the picture, take a second to look at it. Sergeants, can you give me the pillar domain of this picture?
That would be the training.
It is the training one, and training will be the operational domain. Okay. All right. What about this one?
That would be the institutional domain, if I'm correct.
Yes, it will be the institutional domain, being that they're learning in an educational position. All right, what about this one, the last one?
The self-development domain.
Yes, this will be the self-development domain, being coming from experience. So it's something we all went through basic training, and we all took this ride coming off the bus. So you will have to remember what you've been through in order to go about going through something else. Attributes. You have character, presence, and intellect. Character involves Army values, warrior ethos, and discipline. Discipline is very self-explanatory because you have to have discipline in the Army in general. But Army values is something that we're taught in warrior ethos as well. Do you remember your Army values, sergeants? Or Sergeant Harris?
The Army values are defined as loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage.
Okay, I'm going to flip the script on this one. Out of all those that you just said, which one would you say you live by or your favorite? Which one of those values?
For me personally, it would be the loyalty.
Okay. Mine as well, loyalty and respect, because it take you a long way. And you should have no problem if you have respect and loyalty. Warrior ethos. I will never quit. I will never leave a comrade, you know, the way that is. Presence, military bearing, and confidence and fitness. PT as well, you know, something we do almost every day. You have to be fit because you never know when you get that call. Confidence, you have to be confident in everything you do. Military bearing is something where we're taught you have to keep your military bearing at all times. Intellect, expertise will be your SME, your subject matter expert. And personal tech will be coming together and knowing how to address others that you're dealing with from the day-to-day basis. Mental agility is a tricky one because you'll never know what position that you're in. You'll have to be able to brainstorm and think quick to move in and out of situations. And those are our attributes that make up leader development. The competencies: lead, develop, and achieve. Leading, you have to build. In order to lead, you have to build trust within your soldiers. If you don't have respect and trust within your soldiers, they will collapse on you. Instilling the influence goes by leading by example. Your soldiers are an image of you, so leading by example and taking them under your wing will hopefully form them into the soldier you want them to be. Communication, or communicates, is big in the military. I believe if you give communication, everybody will be on time and right place at right time, right uniform and everything. Develop, forming soldiers and preparing them for a positive environment. That really speaks for themselves, because if you form them the right way that you want them to do, they will be moving up into a positive environment. They will be the future of tomorrow. Achieve, resources, roles, and feedback. So feedback in giving top roles are a big achievement for me, because being known, being acknowledged is something that I look forward to when I give out hard work and dedication in anything. And resources come in handy, saying that I'm missing something, I don't have anything, someone that could help me out will be my resource to get the job done. And those are my competencies of leader development. Conclusion. Okay, getting into our conclusion, this will be the overall mission of leaders. So, as my job as a leader, it would be to counsel, motivate, and mentor a soldier. What would be your overall mission, Sergeant?
My overall mission would be to support my subordinates.
Okay. All right, we'll be getting into our questions. Do we have any questions?
So earlier in the brief, you asked us about what leadership was to us. What's leadership to you?
Leadership to me is someone that believes in me and I can call on duty in uniform or off duty outside of uniform. Someone that can help me out in my career or outside of my career. That would be my answer. Someone I could look up to as a role model. Sergeant. Any other questions that we have? All right, that will conclude the brief.